All right, here we go. Getting on in to the champion pick and ban phase. Team Cave Gaming on the blue side, while Supernova will be on the red. So first bans should be coming out in just a moment here. Just going to be waiting for that one from Lycan Master doing the banning for Team Cave.
That's an interesting first ban. They banned out the Riven right away. Probably a targeted ban towards FMA Edward Elric.
Yeah, of course, these two teams do know each other, so they have a better idea of what to ban away than maybe they would against some of the other teams. They've probably been able to... I'm sure that they've scrimmed against each other leading up to this tournament. Maybe not during the tournament, as they want to kind of keep any new ideas that they come up with secret from each other, but you never know. I mean, with them knowing each other outside of the game, it adds such a totally different dynamic to things like the pick and ban phase.
So, did see Italy last game doing exceptionally well, and that actually does get banned away. Vagar being banned out, not going to be given to Saga Sub Big M. Oh god.
And the hover start.
This Notimo skin is cancer.
It's such an amazing skin, though. It really is. Come on, how can you not like a skin where when you recall you get picked up by an attack helicopter?
And that's why it gives away your position when you're invisible or recalling.
I don't think that shows up if you are invisible. Does it really?
Yes, it does.
I feel like that's something that shouldn't happen.
It's a bug.
I mean,
only supposed. Shut up, Bishop.
I mean, technically it makes sense. It makes sense because, you know, it's an attack helicopter. You probably should be able to see that regardless of where the person's standing. But we do see it is going to be that Lissandra being the first pick there on the side of Team Cave Gaming. Or Cave Gaming for short. Possibly a Gragas coming through here. Please don't lock in that Gnar. I'm so heavily against Gnar pickups right now in a competitive standpoint.
Gnar still is good. Sort of in competitive.
Supernova, why? I don't like the pick. I really don't. I just do not like having. I mean, the game has turned so much more towards full-on team fights, with the tanks becoming more and more prevalent, and just having that visual indicator of when you're going to be wanting to go for a team fight. I feel it's just such a big advantage to be giving to the enemy team. That, I don't know, I don't like the Gnar pick. And actually, we're going to be seeing a lot of the top-tier junglers were left open for this game. And so we do see Vi getting locked in. I'm really surprised that Sejuani wasn't picked up by either of these two teams.
Sejuani is going to start being picked less and less. They did nerf her slow so much on her ultimate. And
I don't think it's that big of a deal, though. I really don't.
It's a 60% difference.
Yeah, just hit the ult and you get the stun, and you don't have to worry about that slow nerf.
See, but here's the thing about her ultimate. Her ultimate completely stuns targets within a certain radius, and it's supposed to
within
heavily
a massive
slow
radius.
No.
It is a huge radius. Yes, it is.
Not that big.
When you hit it, it is a huge radius that it stuns people in.
No.
All you have to do is just land the ultimate, and Sejuani is still supremely effective.
See, but here's the biggest problem. Once they get out of the stun, they're supposed to be a follow-up slow. And now the follow-up slow is just whatever. It's not that big a deal. So it looks like they actually went ahead and locked in Orianna and Graves there. I don't... What is... This is confusing to me, actually.
Why is that?
I'm trying to picture how team fights are gonna go, and I can't wrap my head around it.
I mean, they are a little. I think it's really the Gragas just doesn't really fit in with the rest of their team fight.
Nar's fine, Oriana's fine, Graves is fine. That Gragas pick, it just kind of does the opposite of what they want. I mean, you can slow with his barrel, you can knock people up, and you can throw the ball on him and create an engage, but his ultimate is going to be the wild card here if he basically uses it to set up a play or just to disengage heavily.
Yeah, I mean, it could be if they overextend, or if they go on an all-in fight and then realize, oh shoot, maybe this wasn't the fight we wanted, and just use that Gragas ult to displace people and kind of get things restarted. But other than the Gragas, their team fight is big AoE combo coming out from them. Whereas you look over on the blue side for Cave Gaming, they're a lot more pick oriented, a lot more single target. Really, the only big AoE being the
Lissandra
and an Ezreal ultimate, but they're definitely more focused on picks, having someone get grabbed by the Thresh, using the ultimate from Urgot, and then just everyone blowing up that target. That really is they're going to be looking to get those kinds of picks, and with this double AD carry sort of composition, because of the fact that Urgot is still technically an AD carry, even though he's very likely going to be in the mid lane here, it gives the ability for them to just really shove down towers hard, even though they don't have the strongest of siege comps. Like, they don't have a whole lot of poke and harass to come out from while trying to siege the tower. But if they can get a little bit of siege going on, they can just immediately get onto the tower and absolutely melt it with the big damage coming out of the Ezreal, Urgot, and even Vi is a pretty strong tower pusher if she gets the Trinity Force. So it'll be interesting to see how these two very clashing team compositions do fare up against each other. So we get to take a look at the summoner spells we are going to be seeing. In the top lane will be Lissandra versus Gnar, the jungle matchup of the Vi and the Gragas. In the mid lane, it will be Urgot going against Oriana, and then of course the bottom lane matchup of Ezreal and Thresh taking on Graves and Morgana. One thing I do want to point out is on the side of Cave Gaming, they've actually swapped their support and their AD carry. It's usually Saga Sup Vigem as their support, with Hauser Soup Nazi as the AD carry, and they've decided to swap roles for this game. So a little bit of flexibility coming out just among the players themselves, let alone on the champions that they pick.
Sorry about that. I had to try and shut him up again. And you can still hear him, can't you?
A little bit. It's not that bad, but let this be a lesson to all of you out there looking to be shoutcasters. Do not buy a bird. If there's one thing you learn from our cast today, is that don't buy a bird. That's it. Or if you do have a bird, get yourself a soundproof cage or room to put them in, so that when you're casting, you don't have to worry about them. We have just about a minute left until we get onto the loading screen. See which Virginian college team gets themselves the better skins coming out.
Should be okay now.
We shall see. So we are going to be getting onto that loading screen in just a second here. 3, 2, 1, boom! Boom! Now I have to load the loading screen.
I'm still getting a black screen.
Yep. Still waiting on that loading screen.
There we go.
There it is. All right, so we are going to see for Cave Gaming, a Blade Queen Lysandra, Officer Vi, Battlecast Urgot, Frosted Ezreal, and Classic Thresh.
And on Supernova, we're going to see Dino Gnar, Scuba, Gragas, Winter something, Oriana? I don't know the name of that skin. And I couldn't see the other two because we loaded in too fast.
Yep, very quick loading screen. As we are then now going to be at the kind of broken... You're loaded onto the rift, except not really. There's actually nothing there. And take a look towards the river. See, there is no duck in the river.
There is no duck level.
Not a single duck in sight.
This is very strange. Okay, on the Spectate client, does it say that you're... does it say live at the side?
Nope.
Okay, just making sure that I'm not the only one.
No, it does that. It likes to do that pretty frequently, actually. But we are going to be seeing both teams making their way on out of their bases, heading out into the jungle. All 5 members of Supernova are grouped up here. But that ward did just go down, so if they do try and make a move, they will be spotted.
And they're just going to walk back the other way.
Making the wise decision. Yeah, not going to be... Still no, I'm still waiting. One of these days, we've got 6 more weeks. One of these days, there's going to be an all-in 5v5 level 1 team fight. It's going to happen at some point. We've got 90 games in the regular season. One of them has to have it.
Nope. I'm going to tell every team not to do it. They could do 4v4. They could do 2v2. They could do 1v1. But no 5v5.
You know what? I would actually be okay with a 4v4 too.
Okay, 3v3.
Okay, no. 3v3 is not going to cut it. It's got to be at least... Got to have... I just want one. Just one super hectic, chaotic level 1 fight.
Well, you're not going to get it. So deal with it.
At some point we will. Calling it right now.
So Greg is going to be starting Grump side, and Vi also going to be starting with the blue?
Yeah, little surprised to see actually giving the blue over to Urgot. Wow, that is an interesting start. As it's going to definitely give Urgot a bit of a significantly easier time in this mid lane. As going to be having that mana regen, able to try and use that to just bully out the Orianna as heavily as he can, but that is extremely unconventional.
I understand the reasoning behind it, but the main issue with it is Urgot is still extremely mana hungry. And yeah, he's going to be able to do what he's doing now and push Orianna really far out. But I just feel like it's just setting Vi back for no reason, really.
Yeah, it is definitely going to slow down Vi's early game, and while she is still an extremely effective ganker, pre-6, hitting that level 6 is just such a huge power spike for her that I don't feel like you want to slow that down at all. But they do decide to go for it, and we'll have to see how it plays out for them, as Vi is actually not doing too much worse off than the Gragas. Really, the only difference being that the actual buff.
Oh, and Vi coming in. She does use her flash there in the bot lane. Is she gonna go win with her Q? No, she is actually not going to. In the mid lane, we see Kazaroon and Based fighting it out, and that's gonna be first blood going over to Urgot with a couple of auto attacks. Ignite was burned on his side though.
Yeah, so hey, maybe that giving the Urgot the blue buff is gonna pay off there. Getting him that first blood, he's going to be really far ahead of this Orianna, and if you can stall out Orianna getting to that late game.
And Gragas has found a Lissandra.
Or has Lissandra found Gragas?
Yes.
It's actually, yeah, it is definitely Gragas taking the worst, coming out of that trade, the worst for wear. But
oh, and they're gonna find him yet again. He's gonna be forced to flash away from Lycan Master. Are they gonna go for the dive? No, Urgot is up there in the top lane as well. He's gonna be missing out on some valuable experience in the mid lane though.
Yeah, especially with Orianna.
Oh,
back
in the bot lane,
lane.
we see Dark Binding landing onto How's Your Soup Nazi. Ignite ticking down onto the Graves. He's going to be taken extremely low here. He's going to burn his heal, and he is going to go down. Ezreal picking up the kill there for himself. Quicksilver looking to get the return kill here on somebody. It looks like he's going to go down here as well. Double kill going over to Saga Sub Big M.
A great job there by How's Your Soup Nazi of getting on the other side of the Morgana and then using that flay to knock her back. She was trying to get towards her tower, and he just used the flay, knocking her further away from the tower, giving them that extra time needed to be able to pick up the double kill. And that's really going to set Cave Gaming pretty far ahead in the bottom lane right now. Is not only does Ezreal going to be picking up a CS lead, but having those 2 kills is going to really let him go when he goes back, which he is doing now. See what he does opt to pick up. He had about 2,000 gold.
Tier.
Yeah, gets a tier and a pickaxe. So possibly going to be going for that blue Ezreal build.
The most common thing to do on both Ezreal and Lucian lately is to go ahead, start tier, and get that stacking up as soon as possible, and then go for a relatively normal Ezreal build. In the top lane, we see FMA Edward Elric dueling it out with Lycan Master. He's level 5, not quite level 6 yet, so he doesn't have Gnar. However, he's doing a ridiculous amount of damage. He throws down the boulder, and not much else really gonna happen up there. Lycan Master got taken very low, though.
And Lycan Master, in that trade, Gnar just winning it out pretty heavily because of the fact that he is Gnar. So I do still like the Gnar pick in lane. It's just for when it comes to team fights, I really is when I don't like him. But Urgot still just doing what he can to pressure out this Orianna. She has started to catch up in CS. Urgot still does, of course, have a lead, but getting slightly closer now is the Orianna, because she does have that relatively easy AoE clear.
I can tell what Kazaroon's trying to do here. He's trying to set it up so that he can go ahead and use his ultimate onto Orianna while Vi is there to set up for a pretty powerful gank. In the top lane, Edward Elric doing a bit of damage to Lycan Master. He's going to force him to back.
Yeah, it will be the first recall for Lycan Master. Let's see what he does. He gets the Catalyst, the Protector, then just some wards and potion. As Urgot, oh my goodness, the damage he's putting out onto Orianna, even under, like, way back underneath her tower, is pretty crazy. Orianna out of mana again, even though she has that fairy charm to be starting to restore. She's now got a little bit back, but Urgot just so strong against her right now. Getting those double tier stacking items.
Oh, and there goes the hook onto iHeart Vayne. Is iHeart Vayne going to be taken very low? He gets taken down to half HP. Saga Sub Big M doing a nice amount of damage. Oh, base going to be caught again by Urgot. Is he going to go down? One more auto attack from Urgot. Should be able to get it. No, not quite. He gets the rocket, but the poison should be able to pick it up. Oh, actually, no, it's not. However, Kazaroon is going to find FMA Edward Elric chasing him down. He's going to throw down the shield, trying to survive here. He should be able to die, though. And that is a kill going over to FMA Edward Elric. And he actually looks to want more.
Yeah, he is finally going to be backing off there, as that slow did not hit. But yeah, Orianna getting that absolutely clutch command protect, giving her the shield as that rocket from Urgot came through, kept her alive just barely. One thing I wanted to point out before in the bottom lane was actually iHeart Vayne came extremely close to going down and was actually saved a little bit by How's Your Soup Nazi hitting a flay as Ezreal shot out one of his abilities, which made it miss.
Oh, in the top then we see Lycan Master and Edward Elric fighting yet again. Edward Elric looking to get the kill. However, she throws down the Oh, what's the name of that ability? Because I keep confusing it with Sejuani's. The Glacial Prison? No, Frozen Tomb. Glacial Prison, Sejuani's.
Yep.
Oh, and there goes the Ignite, taking that onto the Graves. He's going to be taking that very low. He did get hit by Ezreal's ultimate, and he does burn his heal to survive. Also burning Thresh's Flash in the process as well. In the top lane, we see Lycan Master getting taken down very low as well. This Gnar is actually becoming pretty big.
Yeah, he's definitely winning that lane. He went and got a first item Giant's Belt, so he has a lot of help up there. And Lissandra's just starting to have a lot of trouble trying to deal with it.
Oh man, the damage coming out of this Urgot is a little intense.
As Ezreal just going to be clearing out those minions and taking the Lantern back to safety so that they can recall. See what he does decide to pick up here now on his second back. Graves is significantly behind as Ezreal just finished off his Manamune, while Graves is just sitting on a pickaxe and 2 Doran's blades. Ezreal did sell his pickaxe for that.
Oh, there goes the Urgot ultimate coming out onto the Orianna. Orianna gonna be taken down. She's gonna get ulted by the Vi. That's gonna be Vi picking up the kill there onto Orianna. Greg is gonna be forced to flash over the river wall. He's gonna go right back in. I don't know why. He's gonna try and get the slow onto Ensis. Ensis gonna be forced to back off here. Kazaroon gonna be taking quite a bit of damage here as well. FMA Edward picking up the kill there. Thresh goes out the hook. He actually lands it. Saga sub Big M picking up the kill there onto the onto the Gnar. Double kill going over to him onto the Gragas as well. The Dark Binding goes out from Morgana onto the Thresh, but it does miss. That's gonna be 3 kills actually going over to Cave Gaming.
Yeah, Ezreal picking up 2 of those. He's gonna have to be. They're gonna have to figure out some way to try and keep him in check because Ezreal is getting extremely large now, sitting at the most CS in the game and 4 kills. He is, again, he's already got the Manamune finished off, and is going to be easily the first person to be finishing off his the rest of his items, and will be the strongest one in the game. But because he's so mobile, and there's not a whole lot of ranged lockdown from the side of Supernova, it's going to be very difficult for them to actually stop him in fights. Like, he's going to be able to just sit on the back line, just jump around, and just do damage constantly. Not to mention the threat.
Oh, and there goes a shockwave onto Kazaroon. Kazaroon going to be taken extremely low here. Tyler Combs picking up the kill there for himself. They are relentlessly ganking him.
Yeah, I mean, they saw that he was doing extremely well against Orianna, and Orianna was having troubles. So now they're just focusing a lot of attention down to this mid lane, trying to make sure that Urgot does not get extremely fed, and trying to get Orianna really caught back up and involved.
Oh, Base going to be caught in a very awkward spot here. Ensis does a lot of damage. He actually picks up the kill there for himself. Saga sub Vig M actually picking up the kill there with a Q onto the Morgana. He actually is unstoppable now, sitting at 5-0. This is very bad for Supernova right now.
Yeah, they've put so much attention onto that mid lane that Ezreal has just kind of been unchecked down the bottom. And not only that, but like the fights in the mid lane would take so long that we saw the one where Ezreal, it took so long that Thresh and Ezreal roamed up from the bottom lane, were able to get involved and clean up afterwards, which was where 2 of those 5 kills came from. The other 3, of course, being in lane, where he's just been dominating the Morgana and Graves duo. So really, Saga support Vagar doing extremely well for himself on the Ezreal, even though they again switched up roles. He usually is their support, but looking to make a case, showing how's your Soup Nazi, how it's done, I guess, even though they haven't lost yet. So it was a little interesting to see them switch roles. Usually if a team is struggling is when they try and switch around roles like that. But
one thing I want to bring up is why I don't really like Morgana into Ezreal. I feel Ezreal does so much normal AD damage that her Black Shield is kind of pointless. However, that's going to be the death sentence onto Morgana. She's going to be taken extremely low, and she flashes into the Ezreal ultimate. That's not where you want it to flash. Oh, and there goes the flash. That sentence from the Thresh. However, he's going to get a flash auto attack in the back from the Graves. Edward Elric and Lycan Master dueling it on the top lane. Lycan Master going to be taking a shrew low here. Lycan Master tried to teleport away, but he did go down. Nightheart Bane going to be taking extremely low here. Ensis looking to try and get the kill there onto him. And he does. Base going to be the next target here for Ensis. Double kill going over to him on that Vi. 4-0-2. Ezreal 6-0-1. Right now, the only saving grace on Supernova is Gnar.
Yeah. And it's just, it isn't even that they, I mean, in the bottom lane, it was a lot of it being just individual outplays, but the Vayne, or not Vayne, Vi is actually, Vi has just been all over the map. And we were a little bit concerned that the start that they did may have set her back, but it hasn't done so at all. She's been so effective in going from lane to lane, getting herself involved in kills. It looks like she's going to be trying to get herself another one. Gnar is going to go mega.
Stunned up by the Gnar. Gnar maybe going to throw out his ultimate. He does send Vi into a wall. However, how's your Soup Nazis here? Lycan Master's here as well. They're going to be getting the kill onto FMA Edward Elric, divvying that over to Lycan Master.
And that's kind of what I was alluding to, is the fact that they have just been roaming around the map so extremely well. It seems like every time that Supernova tries to make a play, Cave Gaming just ends up getting more members to the fight than what Supernova brings. So, like that one, it started off as a 1v1, but all of a sudden, before Gnar knew what was happening, it was a 3v1. So,
ooh, nice dodge there from the Ezreal to make sure he didn't get caught up by that Dark Binding. Another blue buff going over to Urgot. I have to point out that the blue buff on the Supernova's team actually went over to Gragas and didn't go over to Orianna. Granted, I understand it as seeing as how Orianna has not had the best time in lane. However, she is so mana hungry that the blue would be extremely beneficial.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough road in back for Supernova at this point.
Oh, and Enta's going to be caught in a very bad spot here. The ultimate comes out from Urgot onto Tyler Combs. That's going to be the shockwaves landing onto Lycan Master and Kazaroon. However, Enta's going to be taken extremely low. He's going to be taken out of the fight by Edward Elric. He's going to be running away. Is he going to make it out alive? I'm not too sure. It looks like that is going to be the case. Like Tyler Combs and Base did go down in the process, though. And that's going to be a red buff going over to Kazaroon as well.
Yeah, and that's just the roam from Cave Gaming. It looked like it was going to be a fight in favor of Supernova. They got the Vi caught out a bit, but Lissandra and Urgot were right there, right around the corner to help assist with that play. They aren't going, even when it looks like they're caught out and are, whenever they try and make an aggressive play, there's someone there to support it.
There goes the fight in bot lane, and actually the Ezreal ultimate going out, but the exhaust saving this Graves so much. Ignite's ticking down onto Morgana. She should be able to live from that, though. Is she? Yeah, she does manage to live, just barely. Just a slight sliver of health. And Urgot getting awarded. He's going to be fighting a Tyler Combs. Is Tyler Combs going to be able to do anything to him, though? Urgot does have a red buff. He also has a blue buff, so he's going to have to be extremely careful. He is going to be forced to burn his flash. There goes the hook, but it lands onto a minion. That minion was crying out in fear as this random scythe hook thing just came out at him. Made him cry.
And again, you see, Urgot making a really aggressive play, but he knew he had the support of Ezreal and Thresh, and even Lissandra teleported in for this one as well. So when they make aggressive plays, but when they do, they're not quite as aggressive as it may seem initially because they have the support there. Vi picks up that tower in the bottom lane. Gnar cleaning up the top lane. So one tower for each team there.
And right now they're just looking to get a hook from Hajjusuzati, and they get the hook on the Tyler Combs. And Bate's going to be caught up by Lycan Master with the Frozen Tomb, and Veigar Saga Sub Big M gonna pick up the kill onto Gragas. Graves gonna pick up the kill onto Thresh. Vi pick up the kill onto Morgana. And Ezreal pick up the double kill there onto Graves. He's gonna be looking for the triple onto FMA Edward Elric. Is he gonna be able to get it? He is very low on mana, so I don't think he can EQ successfully to get that kill. However, Edward Elric is extremely low. There goes Vi going in to try and land it. And he does blind the Q, but it's not going to be enough damage. He did just hit Mega Gnar form. But that's a nice amount of kills there. 4 kills going over to Team Cave Gaming, as well as their second dragon here that they're going for. Gragas nowhere near this dragon, so this definitely should go over to them without being contested.
Especially with the damage that Ezreal has, they definitely easily picked that one up. So second dragon of the game here, but that fight, the way it was started off, was such a great play by How's Your Soup Nazi. He had been throwing hooks over the wall. He'd thrown like 3 or 4 of them out trying to just catch someone. And so then eventually he decides he's just going to drop his lantern where he was, flash over the wall towards the enemy base.
Kazaroon going to be getting chased by Orianna and Gnar. Are they going to be able to do anything here, though, is the question. There goes the Shockwave, and the Shockwave actually does pick up the kill there for Base. First kill for him in this game.
Yeah, finally getting himself on the scoreboard. As I was saying, you know, Thresh flashing over the wall really aggressively, getting behind the enemy team where they did not expect the hook to be coming from, and so they just didn't have the chance to dodge it, and that was what started off that last fight. And really smart play there from How's Your Soup Nazi, just being able to do something. Again, it's when you're playing a team that you are, especially a team that you are familiar against, you have to do things that are a little more unconventional and aren't going to be expected. So that was exactly what he did there. It got him the engagement, got them a fight win, and oh my goodness. Oh man, not only did Vi steal the blue buff, but then Ezreal picks up the kill in the process.
That was very unfortunate.
Right now, Team Cave Gaming just taking a big lead, looking to extend it even further, as they are now going to be pushing in each lane individually, making sure those minions stay on the aggressive side of the map for them.
Urgot going to be getting another blue buff. He's gotten every single blue buff this game.
Yeah, every single blue team blue buff has gone over to Urgot. And I mean, right now, Vi has the blue buff from the red side jungle, so it's not like she cares about that blue buff anyway.
Oh, well, missed that sentence. Quicksilver is just going to be like, wah, wah, wah. Oh, and Vi and Lycan, Lissandra rather, are going to be going to try and get the engage onto Edward Elric. He is going to find an Urgot in the jungle, though. Urgot going to be doing quite a bit of damage there, forcing him to go into Mega Gnar form. Ignite was ticking down from Urgot, by the way, so once he did hit Mega Gnar form, he actually didn't get the huge HP gain like he normally would, so he is going to actually be forced to back so that he can heal instead of just being able to sit there and possibly change a fight. Hardbane getting engaged on there. He's going to be eating quite a bit of damage from Saga Sub Vega, and this is going to be 5 members actually of Team Cave Gaming here in the bot lane. They're going to be looking for the engage. No, the nice dark binding, locking the Lissandra up on the other side of the wall.
And this does mean they're not going to be looking for an engagement here as they go underneath the tower.
That may or may not be the case. Oh, they almost got the engage onto Edward Elric. The Ezreal ultimate did go out as well. However, nice disengage there from Supernova. They're not wanting to get caught out at all here.
Vi going in onto the backside, trying to lock Orianna out of the fight. Here we go.
We see Quicksilver in the middle of this fight here. Kazuha picking up the kill there onto the Morgana. Morgana picking up the kill onto the
beautiful Gnar.
Beautiful Gnar ultimate, knocking 3 of them into the side wall. Ezreal picking up the kill onto Tyler Combs, though. Double kill going over to the Ezreal. Is he going to look to get the triple? Edward Elric is extremely low here. Couple more auto attacks, should be able to do it. One more. Is he going to get it? Yes, he does. Triple kill goes over to Saga Sub Big M, and then that's going to be the ace for Team Cave Gaming as Urgot picks up the kill onto Orianna. As we could not see it, it was just all the way in their base. Urgot was like, I want it.
That was really the best fight that Supernova could have looked for there, and they still ended up getting aced and didn't pick. I think they got a kill onto Thresh.
Yes, they did.
And so 5 for 1 in a fight that looked like it could have been in their, like, going hugely in their favor. But instead it ended up going heavily against them. They just, a beautiful Gnar ultimate came out. They had a lot of good lockdown, but they're just so far behind at this point. Over 10,000 gold. It's almost a 13,000 gold lead for Cave Gaming, and at that point, it's just, you can't really go for a full team fight because of the fact that they are just going to be so far ahead of you when you try and do it. So now Orianna, just trying to get something out of the jungle and completely collapsed upon.
Well, I think it's time for the meme of stop, he's already dead. Not much really gonna be happening here, honestly. This is Team Cave Gaming being extremely dominant. Ezreal gonna be going in, doing quite a bit of damage to Quicksilver there. Got taken down to below half HP. This is gonna be the tower in their favor. So, Team Cave Gaming looks like they really wanted to make a statement for themselves here the same.
Yeah, really trying to state which team is the better Virginia team here, and they are doing an excellent job of that. Looks like Supernova is really just gonna have to try and turtle in their base, maybe hope for a fight. That's not what you want to do.
Gragas got away. They actually wanted to engage onto Gragas, but they got it onto Orianna. I think this Orianna is getting a little sad.
Yeah, that's not having a very good game right now for Based, and lots of sweepers going down, but it should be the first inhibitor tower being taken out here. 26 minutes in. They do indeed pick that one up, and there's not much Supernova can do at this point. They are just backing off of this. The inhibitor is going down. Vi solos the dragon, getting that third one of the game, and now that first inhibitor is taken out.
This is really unfortunate there for Based. Normally we see him do actually pretty well, but this game, it's just not his game. He just keeps getting engaged on Kazaroon, going to be caught in a very awkward spot here, looking not to go down. He actually manages to escape. He is going to be within the nice safe embrace of Vi, and in the top lane we see 3 members of Team Cave Gaming looking to get the push onto that tower. Maybe going to try and take it. The hook goes out onto Based yet again. There goes the shockwave actually coming out of him, and that was a beautiful shockwave landing onto the 2 damage dealers of Team Cave Gaming. Gnar going to be looking to try and chase onto Ezreal. Lycanmaster going to be caught in the middle of 3 members. I Heart Vayne picking up the kill onto Lycanmaster. Ezreal going to be the next target focus here. He's going to dodge out the Dark Binding as well as the Boulder Toss, and he's going to be able to escape. It looks like they want more though. Not sure that's where you want to be, because there's an Orianna coming in from the backside. And Gnar is going to look to try and get something happening here. The Ignite's ticking onto Ezreal. Finally, the shutdown. Going over to Orianna from Ezreal, actually.
But here comes Vi, and Cave Gaming is not done.
However, it looks like Cave Gaming might have overstepped their bounds here. Another kill going over to Supernova. Kazaroon is here now as well. Are they going to look to try and get engaged on him? He gets stunned up by the Dark Binding. Teleports coming in from Lissandra. This fight is going for so long, and this is going to be a kill going over to Vi onto Gnar. Lissandra picking up the kill onto the Graves as well, and Supernova are going to be forced to back out of here now.
Yeah, unfortunately for Supernova, the fight just went on. It went on so long, and it allowed the other members of Cave Gaming that weren't anywhere near the fight, the Urgot, the Vi, and even Lissandra teleporting back in to get themselves involved. And now with the minions pushing in the middle lane, those super minions coming through the mid, Urgot trying to make something happen, but not really going to have much. They do have minions in the bottom lane now as well, pushing onto that inhibitor tower. A little surprised he didn't try and rotate on down over there, but not going to have too much. The top inner tower does go down, and we're going to have a fight. Minor fight.
Whoa, my Heart Vayne's going to be going down here, though. Killing spree going over to Kazaroon, but another shutdown going over to Base. They're giving Base quite a few kills here now. He did finish an Archangel Staff, but that's it. It's a little late.
Yeah, it's again just a little too late here from Supernova. They've started picking up a few kills, getting a couple fights to go in their favor, but right now the Baron is about to get picked up from Cave Gaming. So being able to use that buff, get those buffed up minions pushing in, it's going to make it very difficult for Supernova to defend. Let's see them all just grouping mid, with the exception of Urgot, who's still all the way back at base.
He'll make it. Don't worry.
It looks like they are actually going to rotate over to this bottom lane. I feel like they should have definitely rotated towards top lane instead. They had minions significantly closer to the tower up there, but they decided to come down to the bottom lane.
There goes the Ezreal ultimate, gonna hit the top lane wave actually. This is right now. I don't see how they can lose the next fight.
Yeah, they're just too far ahead right now. Unless they dive extremely aggressively and with really bad
like
timing positioning.
That was a great frozen tune coming out of Lissandra. However, there goes the shockwave. Collateral damage goes out, but it actually misses the Lissandra. Tyler Combs picking up the kill onto Lissandra with the Cinder Hulk passive. Graves gonna be caught up here. He's gonna get hit with the Death Sentence. Castle pick up the kill there as well. That's two members of Supernova down. This could be the end all fight for Team Cave Gaming. They're gonna get the tower here in the bot lane as well.
Yeah, bottom inhibitor down. They do still have these Baron buffed minions pushing in. They're going to pick up the second inhibitor and then should be able to just turn their attention towards those Nexus towers, except for the fact that Thresh and Vi are both extremely low. They are going to be recalling back to base, but super minions on those Nexus turrets now. Oh my goodness, that Ezreal ultimate. Wow. That's just a little bit of damage, as right now Supernova doing what they can to try and defend these Nexus towers, but the inhibitor did respawn in the mid lane, so that'll give them a slight reprieve for at least a moment, but they just have not been able to win these fights, and it's still looking extremely good for Cave Gaming. And look, Ezreal actually got an Essence Reaver. I still don't really like the Essence Reaver as an item. Oh my goodness, look at how tanky Thresh is. He's gonna try and 1v1. Nope, never mind. He had help.
Nice two-man shockwave coming out of Orianna here. It doesn't do quite enough damage though. She's just gonna be backing off there. That's gonna be a very big cooldown that's missing for Supernova here. They're gonna be chasing onto Lycan Master. They're gonna get a couple of slows onto him. Not really much else. Ezreal and Urgot pushing in this mid lane though. They're looking to try and get the inhibitor.
Yeah, they have a lot of damage between the two of them. Both of them do have their items stacked up.
It's a big Urgot.
It really is. With a Black Cleaver as well, he's just going to be shredding through people's armor. I mean, Urgot shreds through armor already on his own, and now with a Black Cleaver added on top of that. But he is actually going to be in a lot of trouble here. Nice ultimate from Urgot, or from Gragas, to displace the Urgot.
And that is going to be a kill going over to Supernova, actually, but...
That being said, they got the kill, but their health bars are so low from just chasing down the Urgot. And what is Lissandra doing that far in?
Lissandra is dead, that's what she's doing.
There are now, both those inhibitors are down again, and here goes the damage onto the Nexus towers. They do get one, but here's another fight.
And honestly, this is Supernova pushing Team Cave Gaming out of their base, and that's going to be the shutdown from the Vi onto the Gragas. As Sagasa Big M picking up the kill there onto Morgana. He's going to live.
That Dark Passage pulling him way out. But they did get one of those Nexus towers, and actually the second one is going to go down to the minions in the base. So Cave Gaming getting a little bit aggressive there, a little too overconfident, but again, a similar situation to our previous game where it's not, in the long run, isn't going to make too much of a difference. But Supernova doing what they can to try and defend, just trying to hold on, hoping to hold on until these inhibitors respawn. And I mean, as they get later and later into this game, they are going to catch up, but it is still going to take quite a bit of time still. I mean, they're still probably a good 15 to 20 minutes away from them sort of catching up in terms of gold, and Cave Gaming being at the point where gold doesn't really matter. And I don't think that they're going to, without having Nexus towers up, I don't think they're going to be able to hold out for that long.
I'm just waiting for Ezreal to just E into their base and just take it while they're like having a bad fight. Oh, and he went blue with the side of red. He picked up a Bloodthirster. He's going to be doing quite a bit of damage, honestly. Especially with the fact that you get the shields out of Bloodthirster, combine that with the heals coming out of Essence Reaver on top of the Bloodthirster. It's actually going to do very nicely for him. He's going to be able to sustain a lot in these fights.
Yeah, they're just looking to push in onto this last inhibitor tower. Just trying to siege it up right now. Super minions are going to be pushing onto the Nexus though, so right, Supernova is going to kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place here, trying to defend on two fronts.
Oh, there goes
nice
the shockwave onto two members, but doesn't do all that much. Based going to be with a nice Zonius dodging everything, but he's going to be hit up with everything again. And Ezreal picking up the kill there onto Orianna, and this should be it for Supernova here. Team Cave Gaming picking up the final tower, and that's going to be Gragas maybe going to be going down here. He gets slowed. That's going to be Lissandra picking up the kill there.
Yeah, this should be the game here. Again, no Nexus towers to defend. And
is Kazarian going to go down? Maybe? No, nope. The Nexus goes down first. There's a super minion in the fountain, by the way.
There is indeed a super minion in the fountain.
Why?
As Team Cave Gaming picks up the victory over Supernova, and that is actually going to push Cave Gaming up into a tie for first place in Division D with Zenith Esports. So that division's starting to shape up a bit. Team Cave Gaming, again, tied for first, while Supernova is now tied for third with Forgiven Sin. Dream Tech, unfortunately, sitting at the bottom of that bracket. But that is going to do it for this game. We do have one more game in store for you guys today, so do not go anywhere, as coming up after our break, we do have Ignition Gaming taking on Frank Fang Gaming. You are not going to want to miss that one, so be sure to stick around. We will be back in just a moment.